Megan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Ranjeet?
Wonderful.
Yes. Well, we're back here this Saturday with more questions for you. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and get started with our featured question. And that question is, are meeting the statutory requirement of 3 EB1A criteria alone sufficient to secure approval, or is there a deeper standard of extraordinary ability that must be demonstrated beyond mere eligibility?
Wonderful. I mean, I think this is one of the most intense questions that has been, kind of popping up actually. And before I try to answer this question, we have some guest actually, Ram Kumar, waiting in the waiting room. So, Ram Kumar, if you're listening to this, just be around and we'll have you on the stage. So that's how it is. Well, statutorily, we understand that USCIS warrants, fulfillment of three criterias. And normally people have a tendency to believe that, oh, fine, if I fulfill three criteria, I might be closer to getting EB1A. But that's not necessarily true because there are other concepts which are there primarily. Fundamentally, why the criteria are there and what is the purpose of EB1A, we have to go a little step back here actually. The whole idea is that you need to position yourself as an expert who can benefit the United States. I mean, that's the whole idea behind the entire jurisprudence of EB1A. If you are not an expert, it does not make any sense. Now, out of all the 10 criterias, the criterias are essentially, kind of levers to prove your expertise. So if you're an expert, it is assumed that you would fulfill at least three of them. But it does not mean the converse is not necessarily true. That if you fulfill three criteria, that will become you are an expert. You see, that is not necessarily true because one of the key things is that you answer is very correct. I mean, the question is very correct. There is a deeper standard of extraordinary ability, which is your core expertise. So when you talk about your core expertise, you need to that is a common thread that goes across all the criteria. For example, if you are going for judging, then your judging criteria needs to get related to your membership. Your membership and your critical role, the common factor has to be your expertise. Your salary, there are people, somebody says that, oh, I'm getting $500,000 salary. There are cases which are read on internet that, oh, somebody getting $2 million salary also got rejected, but somebody getting 150,000 salary, getting approved. How does that work? It's not about you fulfilling the criteria, but you demonstrating yourself to be an expert. And what is the benefit of your expertise that you is going to get? If you can, and you can use these criteria to establish this particular point. So people who have done that, if you are able to do this with the three criteria, it's good. If you are able to do this with four, it is good. Normally, what we have seen is that people are able to create a very strong argument by virtue of at least five criteria. So it does not mean you fulfill five criteria. It means that you have to prove that you are an expert, and it takes normally five criteria to prove it. But if you can prove it by using three criteria, USCIS will be happy to accept it. That's the way I would like to look at it. Of course, we can go always deeper into this, but for the purpose of answering this question, I think it should help. Thank you. So we have Ram Kumar with us. I will be getting him on the screen right now, and let's see what he has to ask. And then we have Kushan actually. So first, I will get Ram Kumar on the stage.
Okay. Hi, Ram Kumar. Oh, looks like you're on mute.
Hello, Megan.
Hi, nice to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a conversation with Megan last week, so
wonderful.
That's how I got it. I'll just type the question and then probably from there I'll go. Yeah. So basically, I work on one particular organizational goal. How to make sure I will be building a very good profile for myself. I mean, building a profile for myself from the career front, which is also going to help me to build a case for EB1A. Based on that profile, or based on the work I do, I want to see what I should be taking the steps to have a membership, to judge, to write articles, and have a very good remuneration, and to have a promotion related to that. So how can I all put everything together so that profile? I mean, the building of profile also will be along with it. So that was my always it was a question. So
Okay, wonderful. Now, for the purpose of EB1A, first of all, I would like to take a little step back. It's not about you as a individual alone. It's that how your expertise is going to get benefit to the US. So let's say, for example, you are working with an organization X. Now, when you talk about a critical role, and that's the core part of what you are asking, that how can I, if I'm working for an organization, how that can help me to create a very impactful narrative for the purpose of EB1A. The first
yeah,
step is that the distinguished nature of the organization has to be established, and the criticality of your projects, that whatever you have done needs to get articulated. So if you are able to do that, that gets you closer. Definitely, if somebody, so this makes a very good case for, if whatever you are earning, it has to be in the, top. At least people say that, in the top league. You have to be in the top league. I'm not going to call it a percentile or assign a number to it, because that's not necessarily that you have to fulfill that. But yes, it has to be connected to your expertise, even the emolument that you are getting. So if you're able to produce evidences, that will get you closer to that.
okay. So for a same kind of profile, if someone is going to work in the top tier companies or top five FANG companies and all, and the same kind of profile, the same kind of work, we are going to work in Fortune 50 companies. Obviously, the remuneration will be more in the top five companies. But Department of Labor, for each and every SOC, they have defined the average, the median average, and the higher one. So
Yeah.
the company I work in is not top five, but it is definitely top 25. I mean, which is under
I
the
mean,
Fortune
that
25.
that's absolutely fine. You don't have to worry about that at the time of building your profile for EB1. We have seen people even in the their people have been working in organizations which have been only 20 people led, also actually 20 people participation. Even those have got EB1A. While we have seen people with smaller companies getting EB1A, people with FANG companies or other such similar organizations not getting it. It's a matter of how your case is presented at the end of the day, also actually. So that is not a problem. We have seen your profile. You are a promising case, but there is a lot of effort that one has to put in into the for making the case closer. Actually,
Sure.
okay,
Thanks, Ranjit.
Thanks, Ram
wonderful.
Kumar.
Wish you all the best. So we have another gentleman also here with us. So okay, Ramkumar, you can drop off.
Sure, Ranjit. Thanks, Megan. Thanks, Ranjit.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Right. We have another gentleman here, Kushan actually. So I will get him on the stage.
Hello.
Hi, Kushan.
Hi,
Hi,
Megan.
Kushan.
Hi, Ranjeet. How are you?
Wonderful. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, so my question is like basically I just briefed my profile. So I'm just telling about my experience and all. So basically, I have pursued master's degree in electrical engineering, and I have 8+ years of experience in the semiconductor domain as a verification engineer. So currently, like I'm working as a functional manager in one of the service-based company from India. So it has different locations. So currently, my location is Toronto, Canada, and I have like achievement letter, recommendation letter. Like I have 4 to 5 recommendation letters and salary hike appraisal letters, and I have worked till now in the same organization. And my B final year project that was selected in top technical projects, and it was also coming in one of the leading newspaper. And I have like published 2 international journal papers I have published, and one international conference paper presented at a government organization, government space physical research laboratory in India. So I just would like to know about in which area I should work so that my EB1A chances will be higher, and in which A sectors, like in which like there are 10 points from out of like 3 out of 10 I have to fulfill the requirement. So based on that, how can I go further with you?
Okay. Now, what happens is fulfillment of criteria. I was just answering that question before, if you heard me while speaking. Fulfillment of criteria, those, eligible, whatever are the, 10 criterias are there, does not make you an expert, but it is, you have to use 3 or more criteria to prove that you are an expert in the top league of your profession. Remember that. You first
Okay.
think, make it clear, it's not about you trying to fulfill. There are people who have fulfilled 8 criteria even before they joined our program, and we have seen them not getting EB1A repeatedly also, actually. Because if you try to do it, the whole idea is that number one, are you an expert of a highest order? Number two, how will US benefit out of that? And third is that whether you will continue in the field of profession. Now, these are the 3 things you have to present yourself. And you have to use those 10 criteria only as the levers to prove these 3 points. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, yes.
So keep
And
an approach. Yeah, keep an approach that you are, applying for. I always say, applying for a EB1A green card is akin to kind of, like talking to the man in White House that look, I'm cushioned, I'm an expert in this field, and this is how I will benefit the United States. And please give me a green card. Although there are 1.5 million people kind of waiting, put me first in the queue, and this is what I bring on the table for you for the United States. So that's the kind of vibration, that's the kind of tonality your petition needs to have, actually. So it's not like, oh, I fulfilled 3 criteria and I have done this, I have done that, so please help me. The key aspect is how will your expertise and you will benefit the United States. If you can create a compelling narrative out of it, and that's what we try to tell people in our program, and successfully we have had at least, I think, close to 20 plus people getting EB1 in the last 1 year.
with your suggestions, is it possible like I can try for the EB1A visa?
No, you should. If you definitely you hold a promising profile. I've seen your profile, as you have also narrated right now. It's a promising profile, but it may not be 100% ready as yet to apply, actually, because there are a lot
Okay.
of and there are 3 dimensions of success for your EB1A. Let's be clear. The first is degree of your expertise. Are you in the top league of your expertise? So you should be 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 in whatever expertise we choose. That's number one. Number two is that what's your understanding of EB1A? And third is how do you present yourself? What are the recommendation letters? Is there the content? What exactly USCIS is looking for? Is it of that caliber? That's the thing that we have to look at. Question. If you are able to
Okay.
fulfill it, this will require some more intense understanding. That's what I would say. You may be kind of missing that point at the moment. So either you can do it yourself, or you can kind of ask someone to help you out.
Okay, and like right now, I can say I can try for the EB1C criteria. So I am fulfilling the EB1C criteria at this moment. So my question is, what is the transition like from EB1C to EB1A? So that's the reason I just wanted to know about like because these are the 2 tricky areas where I should work, and so that's the reason my expectation is if it is possible through EB1A, then it would be great. Otherwise, I'm trying for EB1C so that I can cope up with the EB1A requirements. Like as you said, I explained like with the articulation, everything. Yeah.
See, EB1C is a totally different. Were you abroad? 3 years before? Within last 3 years?
Yes. Currently, I'm in Toronto.
Okay. And then if you are applying if you are in Toronto, and then if you want to do it, you can do, and the same company is ready to sponsor you.
That part is left because right now I'm in the process of like it will take some time to be a Canadian citizen. After that, I can start the process for the same.
So you remember, you will have to be with the same employer even after your approval. Right now, there is a EB1 are retrograded, so it is roughly around 2 years. So at least if you are going to file in next 6 months EB1C, the whole process will take 3 to 4 years, and you'll have to be with the same employer. Remember that. If you lose your job or something, even after your petition gets approved, your EB1C will become infructuous after that.
Okay. Okay.
But if you have EB1A petition approved, that won't be related to your employer. That is your self petition.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I hope that
And
answers.
yes, yes, yes.
So wish you all the
Okay.
best. And if you need anything, please reach out to Megan. We'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, yeah. And can I contact you directly if you can give me your email address?
Yeah, you can reach out through Megan. She will give it to you. Okay?
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
sure. Thank you very much.
All the
All right.
best.
Thanks,
Bye.
Sreekant.
Thank you, Megan.
You're
Have a great
welcome.
weekend.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Wonderful. So that was question. I think very interesting questions. I think the key point here is that one should not be kind of focusing only on the criterias. Focusing on the criterias take you to a different league altogether. So let's take two more questions, Megan, before we call it off.
Okay. All right. Next question is from an anonymous member. It says, I petitioned for EB1A with 7 criteria, of which 6 were met. However, my petition was denied in the final merit determination with the reasoning that these articles are not sufficient evidence of extensive documentation to establish the petitioner has achieved sustained acclaim and separated himself from almost all others as one of the very top in the field of endeavor, end quote. Is it possible to receive approval without receiving annoyed?
Okay, now I think I have seen a lot of people, even who have joined the program, people having 7 criteria or 8 criteria getting approved. I think there is a small narrative. What you read out about the scholarly articles has been kind of highlighted here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, as I said, I think it is just a repetitive of the first question, second question, what question was asking also, that fulfillment of criteria does not qualify you to be an expert of a caliber of EB1A or for the what US is seeking. The whole thing is that we don't even know what the expertise of this gentleman is right now. So whether you fulfill 7 criteria or 8 criteria does not matter, but I just want to understand that, okay, what is the expertise? So if you can get back to us, I think we can do it more deeper analysis of this particular profile. Now, is it possible to refile and receive approval without receiving a NOID? Absolutely. This gentleman looks a very promising case, but I think there needs to be a proper dialogue in terms of identifying the right expertise that would resonate with EB1A, having right recommendation letters, having right expert opinion letters, and through a lawyer drafting a very persuasive case. Actually, I would put it that way. So yes, I mean, I have seen such. It's a very high caliber person. It's a matter of, I think, misplaced representation. I would put it that way. But I'm sure you can do very well, actually. So wish you all the best. And let's take a last question for the day, Megan.
Okay. So the next question is, for peer review, is just the name of the paper from the journal sufficient, or do we also need details such as when it was submitted and when the review was completed?
Absolutely. I think just the name of the paper is not at all very sufficient. You need, if you have done a peer review, how was there a structure to it that you followed? Was that article published after you did a review? Details when it was submitted, all that, kind of a granular analysis of each and every aspect that you did is very much relevant, I would put it this way. So rather than just leaving it to somebody's imagination to understand, so that may not be a very good idea. So one needs to go a little deeper. And if you have done more number of peer reviews for each and every piece of evidence, you should be doing that. So that's what I would say, Megan. So let's call it off. And guys, if you want to kind of reach out to us or think about EB1A, please click the link below and reach out to Megan and I. We'll be more than happy to help you on your EB1A journey. And we do these sessions every Saturday. And ask us your questions. We have a lot of other questions waiting in the queue, and we'll be able to take them next week. But if you are coming yourself, we'll prioritize you, and you can ask us your questions directly. So thank you very much, Megan, and have a wonderful day ahead.
You too. Thanks, Ranjeet. Bye-bye.